Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Well, today we're going to make a card with a big background die and flowers. It's going to be springy and make you feel like getting out there and having some fun. So I hope you'll stay tuned and join me. I cut out this die. Hold on, I don't want to move all my papers, but I'm going to. This big die, and I wanted to make sure that I kept all of my lines in the spots they were supposed to stay in, but of course they fell out naturally. But this is what we're going to be using, and then we're going to be putting these back in, and I'm going to do that just because I don't know. I'm assuming they're all the same size, but if they aren't, now's the time to find out rather than later, because I do need to put them in an order. I'm pretty sure they are the same size, but just making sure. That one looks... Just making sure. Okay, so obviously they're all about the same size. What I want to do is I'm going to use watercolor pencils, and I've colored them, I've swatched them out in an array of colors so that they go from lightest to darkest, and I just moved one. Most of them are Prismacolors, and the other ones are Supracolor from Caran. I'm going to color them and then glue them back in. So I think the first thing that we should do, just so we don't mess this up, is I think I'm going to put this on my card base. And I'm doing a 5.5 inch by 4 1/4 wide card base, and then this is just a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to use this new Essentials. It's from Tonic Studios, so it's one of Tim Holtz's products. And I've just started using it, so I can't tell you for sure if I love it or not. But hopefully we'll love it, hopefully. Okay, so you're going to take your brush, and I'm laying it kind of flat on its side, and I'm just going to go around my die cut just to make sure everything has glue on it, and that the glue that's there is not going to be, I'm going to use the Sandy term, gobby. We don't want it to be any big gobs anywhere. We just want it to be, we just want it to adhere nicely to our card base, but we don't want any of the glue to squirt out. So now we're just going to lay it on our base, just so we like it. Now I am going to put not just our die cuts, our pieces need to go back in there, but I'm also going to put some flowers and the word hello on there, just to make it more three-dimensional. So if I do have any rips on my background, I'll be able to take care of that, no problem. My next step is going to be, I think I'm going to color my flowers next, because I have 3 of my Touch 5 alcohol markers, and those are 7, 16, and 137, and I cut a bunch of flowers, and I'm probably going to layer these on top of each other. We'll see if I'm going to or not, but in the meantime I wanted to put a few colors on them just to make them more interesting, so they're not so one-dimensional. I don't think it looks too bad, and I'm going to do this with 3 sizes. I'm not sure if I'll use the biggest size yet, because the biggest size is a little bit scary for me. I did a video, and I'll link it up at the top right, of why I like certain watercolor pencils over other ones, and hopefully I gave you ones that I didn't think were super expensive and some that were more expensive, but I wanted to make sure that you would find some that maybe would make you happy. And I'm just going to lightly go over this paper. And this is a very, very, very pale blush color, so you might not see it at first. And I'm not trying to make lines on this because I don't want it, when I wet it, I don't want to have a problem with it liquefying. Ooh. Obviously you can't even see the color on there, but trust me, it's there. And again, don't push too hard on it because you don't want your lines to show after it's liquefied. Oh, let me tell you the names of these before I go any further. This one is a Prismacolor, it's light peach. This is a Caran dache, and it's 3888. The next one is Prismacolor pink. Then the next one is Prismacolor blush pink. It's probably not in that order. And then the next one is carmine red. And then the last two are both the Caran dache, and this one is raspberry red and rose pink. Let me go back to that first one that I used and tell you the name of it because I thought it was a number. It's not. It's Granite Rose. The first thing I did was I put some tear tape in each one of these little openings, and then I'm going to take wet glue and my little micro brush, and I'm going to put that wet glue, a big gob of it, on my pad of scrap paper here. And I'm going to try and make sure that I get all the little edges. So my battery died on me, so I just need to go over this one more time, and then I'll have Rich fast forward. You're going to take your micro brush, and just in the corners where you don't have as much glue, well, as much tear tape as that you want to, you just want to make sure those edges are glued down. If you can possibly help yourself with that, that's a great way of doing it. Move that out of the way. And then I have all of my colors lined up with a little bit of tear tape underneath them, just to make sure that we can put these in the right order, because the last time I did this I didn't have them in the right order. These things happen, you know. Oh, that one's in a little bit not in the right spot. The other thing that's nice about that wet glue is it allows you to pick those back up. When you have tear tape, normally you can't, once you've laid something down, you can't pick it back up. So the this little bit of wet glue does help you with that. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I was able to pick up the little piece that was in the wrong spot. So here's our plan. I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to squirt out more on my, I'm going to get a different one of my micro brushes. I'm going to get the ones that have the foam top instead of this pointy top. So this is what we're going to use, and we're going to use it to glue everything down. I think what I want to do first is lay everything so I know where I'm going to put things. I was going to put one of these kind of pearls in the center of my flower, but it's just so bland. I could use one that's not, that's more pinky. I just want to make sure the one I use looks good with this. That's not bad, I guess. Then I'm going to show you how I like to bend my flowers so they look more realistic. What you're going to do is you're going to put your foam underneath, and then you're going to run your stylus like that, and that makes your leaf look much more 3D. The foam is the key because it allows your stylus to push the paper down without tearing it. When I did the alcohol markers on these, I did lines so that when you do the stylus, it works in conjunction with the alcohol marker lines to make the three-dimensional look more defined, because the line appears to be part of the flower. It looks really good with just these two. How's that look to you guys? Do you like it? Okay, we're going with it. We're gluing things down now. So we're going to just take our glue. I'm going to move this over a little bit so that I can move my glue closer to me so it's not so far for me to run my micro brush. I'm going to glue everything down and I'll be back, because you know exactly what it looks like, so you'll know exactly what it looks like when I glue it. So I wanted to stamp in the inside with Pretty in Pink. It says, just wanted to say hello. Well, hopefully you can see that. I thought it would be darker than that, but it wasn't. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but I'm okay with it. Then we're going to stamp my Made For You by Sandy Parker on the back. And a lot of people have been asking me where I got that, and I've put it in the notes of several videos. And in the last video I put up, the one that's the navy blue and white card, I'm pretty sure that's the one where everybody asked, and I put it in the comments. So I know it's in the comments of that video. And the other videos, I can't remember exactly which ones it's also in, but that one I know for sure. So I'm going to take some rubber stamp tapestry peg stamps, and I think this one's called a jagged petal flower, and I'm going to use that on my envelope, as well as it's a fern. It's just a small fern, and I'm going to use Always Artichoke for my fern, and I'm going to use that Pretty in Pink for my flower. The flower's kind of cool. Not very dark, but then again, we didn't think it would be. And then I'm going to put my little fern right there. And I'm going to put another little fern right there. Well, close. I didn't even see where my little mark was. I should have looked to see that mark was where that mark was, but I didn't. And therein lies my problem. I should have looked harder, and I didn't. So let's put one flower right there. I'm going to push down it for a little bit longer, so it'll be a little darker, and it is a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to take this, lining up my little mark. There's that. I think I'm only going to put one on the back. It looks kind of cute. What do you think? You want to vote? No, it's alright. You don't need to vote. We're good to go without a vote. So I hope that you enjoyed this card, and that you'll give this a try, where you color in some of the things that come out of your die cuts and put them back into the die cut. It's not hard to do. And then put something over the top of that to make it three-dimensional. I hope you enjoyed this, that you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media, because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.